everyone. It's Jazz. It's match day morning, which means another match today. They're coming through thick and fast at the moment, and this is actually a very rare event. It's a 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff, and that could be the first time in a long time. You're talking many, many months now, many months, and it's absolutely ridiculous as far as I'm concerned that we don't have many Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs. And that's not just because of Europa. I remember last season a couple of times we had no Europa game, and we were one or two games being shifted to Sundays. And as you know, Boxing Day, we'll never get a home game on Boxing Day either. We get games at Christmas, like away to Brighton, Southampton. Very, very untraditional, still waiting for that home game to Spurs Boxing Day that I grew up watching, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's kind of where we are as a club off the field. On the field, we welcome the Foxes, Leicester City, who have also been struggling for a while now. And I think if you look at the tables, I think they're kind of same as us, aren't they, really? Neck and neck. Same amount of points, 14th and 15th respectively. So they're just ahead of us in 14th. So I don't like to call games crucial, must win, because listen, this drab run of form and the way we play has gone on for a long time, since last December. So I don't want to use words like that. All I want to say is, and I don't like previewing games either, because you don't know what lineup's going to be, and I don't really care that much about the opposition to go into them and that kind of thing. I just like our club. So this show's going to be pretty simple, because there's just one simple question out there. Don't really care what players he plays, because he just plays that one way, right? So it's not even a show about who will get dropped, who will play. It's about mindset. It's about motivation. It's about, are you going to set up defensively again at home? Are you going to play negatively again? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Paqueta plays alongside Benrahma, if Skamaka's up front with Antonio. It doesn't matter. No matter how many attacking players we have on the pitch, doesn't matter what their values are, doesn't matter how well they played last season under him. It's drab. It's crap. Very defensive. We saw at Blackburn, who we're told again that their starting lineup was actually not really their strongest, right? So what does that tell you? And we looked at our formation, and there was often at the 11, there's 7 defensive players, often 5-6 fullbacks. It's just drab. It's drab to look at. It creates that negative atmosphere around the ground, and often you see from kickoff, there's nothing there. The players are not up for it. And this is us amateurs who can see this straight away from the lineup, all the way from the beginning of the match, how it's going to go. And then he's throwing substitutions on in the last few minutes, trying to make things happen. Why don't you start the game as though there's 5 minutes to go? Straight away from the kickoff, get in their face, rattle one or two their goalkeeper defenders, get that first challenge in, make sure the first ball is yours. Let's get a couple of shots in there, get the crowd going. That's all it's about. That's all it will take. Right? So for me, it's not even about formation. It's not even about, well, who's he going to drop? Who's he going to bring in? It's, what are you going to do? You are running out of time. I can't believe he's still here. And I ain't going to go to the game. Good luck to you guys who are going, and hats off to you. I ain't going to go. But it's all about that, and I can't see it. I told you, I can't see it. How's he going to change over there? How's he going to reinstall all that sort of vibrant positivity, creativity, motivation suddenly in 2-3 days since the Blackburn game? There's a cloud over the club. It's one of the most, I keep saying, it's one of the most sought after jobs in football. We are easily in the top 20 biggest clubs in the world. Whether that's by fan base, by history, by revenue, we're up there, right? And he's got to get out there, mate. And we're running out of time. This is the last fixture before the World Cup. And we're going to sit there all World Cup, one eye looking at our club that he's still here, right? And if you look at the fixtures when we come back, it doesn't look good. We've got teams like Arsenal. Let's have a quick look, right? So when we come back after the World Cup break, fixtures we're away to Arsenal, home to Brentford, away to Leeds, away to Wolves, right? And then we got Everton. So all these fixtures, I remember this time, roughly December this time last year, you remember we lost to Southampton at home, we lost to Leeds at home, and you saw the season Leeds had. And this is the same kind of thing. Traditionally, we do not do well around sort of winter time. I know it's going to start a bit late, but that's kind of what it is, right? And it's all about setup, and it's all about kind of, let me just put that on the screen for you guys. Bloody mouse playing up. Yeah, negative tactics at home, right? And you're going to see slowly more and more season ticket holders not going, even though they might lose money on it, because they're probably going to give a ticket for free to their fans of friendly, because you can only sell the tickets back to the club when it's category A or it's a sellout, right? And I can't see too many games being a sellout at the moment. Arsenal, in the form they're in, the way their manager is, they're going to take us to the cleaners, and we haven't beaten them anyway. It's one of the few clubs last 2-3 years, to be fair, again, going back to Moyes' good start when he came in, we just can't beat them. We've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten City, Spurs, United. We just can't beat these guys, and they're going to know what to do. They're going to know to hit Krezi at fullback, Kera. Our fullbacks are going to be targets every game. I would do the same. They're crap, One's got pace but hasn't got the brain to read a game, Kera. One hasn't got any pace anyway, so you can single him out, but he often goes missing defensively anyway. He tucks in next to centre backs, and then when you looking at people like Fornals to attack, he's busy covering for Krezi. So then we lose one guy attacking, and Scamacca's just, I wouldn't say he's isolated, because he's not a sulker. He's always visible, but it's just that we don't give him good service. He's always there. He's not hiding. He's available. He's even trying to win the ball back, but you're just not giving him the ball. And slowly, yeah, he's definitely not as good as he was last year, but that's not down to him. Paqueta, listen, a couple of things about Paqueta. 53 million record signing, and we know our record signings are doomed at West Ham. Many going back to Dupe and Anderson and people like that. They've all flopped, right? Just quickly over Scamacca before we go Paqueta. If for some reason Moyes carries on and Scamacca perhaps loses confidence and it looks like it's not going to work out for him, there ain't going to be no strikers willing to come to West Ham after this. This has happened far too often under us, right? Playing players, well, similar formation what they came with, but tactically not the same. So it's not even about formations anymore under David Moyes. Don't look at the formation. Look at how we're playing. You could play 3 strikers with Moyes, right? But they'll all be told to sit halfway line and defend. That you've got to look at how we're playing, right? That's the main thing. Don't get too much bogged into formation. It's tactics, it's mindset. And at home, we're just sitting there, and it looks good because we don't concede a lot. And but then sooner or later they're going to get one in, and then we're running around. And because our mindset is negative, it's hard to break out of that and then try to score. That's why you're seeing so many chances go missing when we get them. It's just average up front, it's average at the back, and it's just boring to watch. We don't know how to close out games, as we saw against Blackburn. We don't know how to start games. There's nothing going right at the club. There's not one player you can tell me that's playing really, really well. He's getting you off your seats. He's carrying the team. Even Rice has just had enough. There's nothing out there at all, right? And the board, I don't know what they're waiting for. Every game that goes past, the club's getting devalued, the players are getting unmotivated, their value's going down, and you're just going to end up making situation harder and worse for the new manager to come in, especially if you just waste all of that month off by not bringing anyone in. I mean, Southampton are 2 points ahead of us, and we could even beat them, right? They've got rid of their manager, right? It's just what it is, and I don't know if it's that kind of game. Whoever loses. I don't know if Rodgers is going to lose his job. I don't know. I'd have Brendan here rather than Moyes. I'll give you that straight up. I think he plays good football. He's a good coach. Again, whatever manager comes in, don't think of it as a 5-10 year plan. He's going to change the club like Fergie and John. He ain't. Whatever manager comes in, think of it as a 24 month plan to do slightly better than what you're doing now, and a lot better than that as a bonus, and then you move on, right? That's just a modern world. Look at Chelsea's model, that kind of thing. It's just what it is, right? After 2 years, it just, for some reason, it fizzles out, and you're a fool to carry on down that line, right? Especially if you haven't really won anything. Obviously, Liverpool up and down, but look, Klopp's got so many brownie points, right? Proper brownie points in there, and that's just the way it is. And for me, yeah, it's about, I don't know if it's the last chance. For me, he would have gone after the Chelsea game. You know, what happened in the Chelsea game is absolutely, you can't even, you start negatively, and somehow, even when you find yourself winning, you don't know how to close the game off, right? So what you do, you play even more negative after being 1-0 up, right? And then they're going to catch you, right? And then you got people like Chilwell scoring from coming off the bench. Give me a break, right? And I even told you at Palace, we weren't playing well, but because we went 1-0 up against the run of play, I would have put Antonio on straight back then, taken Bowen off and put both up front, and let's shake it about. Because we're just far too predictable. Everyone knows how we play. We're just easy to be coached against. If I was playing West Ham, I'd know exactly who to target, what they're going to do. I even know the substitutions, at what minute, who's going to come on, who's going to come off. It is so easy, right? And it's just what it is. So it is like a match day moaning show. It is what it is for me. And we've got to win, haven't we, really? I mean, if I have a quick look at the tables and see what's below us, is there a chance we could finish in the bottom three before the World Cup if we lose? I mean, Everton below us on the same points. Bournemouth are 1 point behind. Southampton bottom three, they're 2 points. And then if we win, obviously, the key thing for me, like I kept saying, is 2 years ago, we were ahead of Arsenal in development, ahead of Spurs. We nearly got in the Champions League by 2 points. The following season, we did kind of okay as well, which was last season. But now, the difference now is, my man, is that United are not always going to be poor. Sooner or later, they're going to tackle that top four, right, which we're seeing. Now we're seeing Arsenal truly overtake us in spectacular fashion. They're up there, right? Spurs, with their world-class manager, they're kind of there, right, in the Champions League and things like that. Chelsea, not doing well, but sooner or later, they'll crack it, right? Even if they have to sack Potter in 2 months, they'll do it. But they'll get there somehow, right, with the backing they got. Newcastle is the concern. We're not going to catch them ever now in the foreseeable future with this backing, the manager, and the way they're playing, right? So it's kind of what it is. So that's another one you're not going to break past. Villa, for me, we're not going to catch them anymore. They've always had the money, always had the backing. They just kept perhaps not having the right managers in place and the right sort of transfer thing or the way you're using them. But I always felt they had a good squad. When you got, loads of players like Ollie Watkins, love him at West Ham. Bailey's a good player. Boonier's a bit like Ben Rama. You just need to play him a bit more often. Obviously, Danny Ings is there. So many of you like Danny Ings, good goalkeeper. They've got a lot of good players. It's just the wrong managers all the time. And now they've found one, which I think, again, I highlighted him 4 weeks ago, that with Poch, he's a very good manager to speak about and possibly have at a club, but that train's gone. So Villa, Newcastle, improved United, improved Arsenal. We ain't got no chance of qualifying for Europe for the league anymore. Certainly under this structure and manager anymore. It's just a case of trying to finish, perhaps 9th or 10th with a bit of luck. We'll see. But then you even got Brighton and Fulham well ahead of us now. And after all that money spent, is this what the board was looking at? Is that what you were looking at? It's back to Upton Park days, isn't it, really? Look at the table. I'm not talking out of context or going overboard. Have a look at our league form since last December, right? Forget the Europa games and all that, right? It's drab. And look at the table. We are 2 points off the bottom three. And this is Upton Park times again. And you guys didn't want to leave Upton Park for this, right? So good luck to you, whoever's going. But for me, I've just come to a point where I'm just like, it doesn't even hurt me when we lose now. I'm just like, yeah, what's going to happen when you, wasn't it? So it's got to that level, which is terrible. The passion's kind of slowly oozing out of me and every fans that I know. Some fans are not even going anymore. Some fans who go there leave very, very early. I mean, I would never leave games early, but due to transport and part of it's the way we're playing. I mean, I left, was it 82 minutes? I left the Blackburn game, and then obviously just got out of the ground nearly, and then they'd scored, and I'm like, yeah, glad I did bloody leave. So that's the way it is. It's not about players playing. It's not about team selection. It's not even about formations. It's about your mindset, your instructions, your motivation, and your attacking tactics at home. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about, right? So it doesn't matter. I don't care how Leicester set up. It's about us. And when you're conceding so early, when you from the kickoff, you're just not doing anything and you've just left the dressing room, what does that tell you about the manager's motivation? And all these commentators say, oh, I bet David Moyes can't wait to get them back in at halftime to have a chat with them. Like, what are you on about? When they started the game, they were crap anyway, and they just left it. So what difference is halftime going to make? And it didn't at Palace. They kind of came out in the same bloody reverse gear as it was. So match day morning, match day slow moaning show from me. But anyway, whoever's going, hopefully you have a safe journey and hopefully enjoy yourselves. Hopefully we'll win. We'll see what happens. Even if we win, it's just papering over the cracks. And I told you that under this train, it's going to be every 5 games. You're going to stumble across a win, and then it'll be draw, 3 losses, and that's where we're going to go. Right? We're not going to go anywhere under this management, and that's just the way it is. It's harsh facts. Some people don't like it. I'll tell you the way it is, right? In terms of subscribers and views, it is, you guys have broken all the records last couple of weeks, racing towards 2,000k subscribers. So again, please subscribe. A lot of you watching about subscribing, please subscribe. We are racing towards the 2,000 subs. We have overtaken some channels who've started 5-6 months before us. We are doing so well. So proud of you guys, and keep putting your comments. I reply to every comment after the show, so put your comments in there. And it's good to see that a lot of you didn't know where I'd gone. They're like, Jazz used to be in West Ham fan. Stevie, where have you gone? So it's good that you found me, and because I don't quite know how the YouTube search thing works, but it looks like more and more of you are finding me as the views go up. My channel's coming into searches of people who don't know about me or where I've gone or where the channel is. But this channel started, I think, December, January. So we've been going 10 months. Obviously had another one with Marsley before that. And then I used to be on all the other channels. So yeah, you guys do know me, but perhaps you didn't know that I got my own channel up and running about 10 months ago, really. So yeah, keep spreading the word. Jazz is always around West Ham, as you know, on one platform or another, but obviously got my own one from 10 months, and you're really enjoying it. So yeah, have a great day, and hopefully we'll catch up a bit later on after the game and to see what's going on. So take care, have a great day. Come on, you irons, and subscribe.